Welcome, my little critters, to Tales from the Crit Season 2, The Level Up. We're an actual play podcast with an ever-changing cast of players making our way through a bunch of different RPG systems, from micro RPGs to some of the more well-known role-playing games out there, and the occasional highly narrative tabletop game. Content warnings can be found in the episode's description. My name is Riley Groves, and I am the Crit Keeper on this episode of Tales from the Crit. Welcome back to Tales from the Crit. Today we are continuing our playthrough of A Quiet Year. We're going to tackle this season of summer in this episode, but before we do, I would like to introduce back to the table Connor.
Hello.
Derek.
Hi.
And Rebecca.
Hello there.
And we're going to answer one question from our pod deck interview deck. I think this is this third edition, actually. And that question for today is, what was the most memorable class you have ever taken in school or college? And seeing Derek's going to be player one today, why don't you go first?
I actually used to sit in my mother's anatomy classes when I was on school breaks. So I didn't really take that class, but I sat in for 7 out of the 15 weeks.
And what age were you then?
11.
11. All right. Sweet. Rebecca.
The first one that popped into my mind, in high school, I took Mr. Baldwin's class, Business and Personal Law. And that was a really cool class. Because we'd always have tests and stuff. It would be legal stuff. And, like, he'd have a right answer, but if you could argue your own way into what you thought was the right answer, he'd give you credit for it anyway. And I just love that that's how the legal system works. It seems so sketchy.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Connor, what about you?
The first class that jumped into my mind was my addictive and compulsive behaviors class that I took in college. The professor would open every day with, like, "Good morning, drugs class," and he just had a lot of charisma and energy, and it was neat to learn about, not only the origins of a lot of the, recreational street drugs, but also like pharmaceutical drugs and stuff like that.
Oh.
And cool class.
Cool.
Nice. I really want to talk about a bunch, but I'm gonna just stick to the parameters. I will say physical education as a curriculum in college is the most fun that a college student could do. Did nothing but play sports. And that was pretty sweet. But I think my most memorable is elementary school music class, particularly around Halloween. Our teacher was Mrs. Orr, I think.
Yep.
Really, really killed the Halloween segment for music class every year. And I just I think about it all the time. She had the mood lighting set up because we were on the
orange stage lighting, and the creepy music playing in the curtains.
It was one of my favorite moments of schooling, I'd have to say.
She was a really fun teacher.
She was.
She was great on the holidays.
She definitely was.
My grandmother called her and demanded that they stop playing the song Alouette about the bird, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it's about a bird, but I know the song.
I think it is about a bird.
Yeah, well, something...
Plucking all the feathers off of it.
Yeah, so you hurt the bird, or the bird dies in it, whatever. But, it's French, and we were in the 3rd grade, so, nobody cares. But my grandmother called the school and complained and demanded that they stop playing that song. I was very highly embarrassed.
I bet. I feel like the school should have been like, you're a grandma, not a mom, so we don't care at all.
The teacher personally apologized to me, and I was like...
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't care.
I was going to say where the embarrassment come from, but I guess
the embarrassment came from having to go down to the music room, getting called out of class to go see Mrs. Orr in the music room, and having to make the journey down there, not knowing why I fucked up in music class. I thought, honestly, the walk down was her telling me that I was not good at the percussion instruments, and that I'd be reduced to this thing, with the fish thing. And then she was like, "I'm sorry that we, play this song and that it's offensive." And I was like, I love that song. I think it's a banger, man. I don't know. Please, why
I like this song.
Can we sing it today?
I was just getting down the pat-pats on the fucking bongos, man. And so, yeah, music class. All right, you guys ready to play Quiet Year?
Yeah.
We remember how?
No.
I think so.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm sure. So we're going to pull cards. We're going to read off the options. We're narratively going to describe what happens to our little community here in space on XP676. So far, so good. We're making some positive progress. One faction. One
I
group
guess.
fractured off the other. But so Derek, you're going to be player one today. I know we have several projects starting, so we'll get to those as they come. And Derek, you are the first one to pull a card of the summer.
All right. Starting off the year, or the season, really, with the Ace of Diamonds.
Cool.
So, a constituent within the community demands to be heard. Who are they? What are they asking for? Or, a constituent within the community have acted on their frustrations. What have they damaged? Why did they damage it? Is it permanent? I'm gonna go with the latter one, where constituents within the community have acted on their frustrations. And I am going to say that they are upset about the other faction and they're going to destroy the mural.
Oh, shit.
So a handful of them that are against the superstitions are going to, and are frustrated with the break-off faction, are going to go and destroy the mural, seeing it as a symbol of the other group.
Can we name them?
That would probably help.
Yeah, it'd be cool. The cave dwellers. The spelunkers.
Doom Dwellers?
Oh, I like it.
That's a good one.
Do they call themselves that? Or is it just the community that calls them that?
Just the community.
Yeah, we'll go with just the community. But what should we name the community? What does the other group call the community?
What does the violent group do to the mural? Do they like smash on it? Do they try and cover it up with other paint and berry juice?
They smash it with picks and shovels. And stuff. I'm not going to escalate it to like explosives or anything like that. I feel like that's too much.
What's our ship called? The Six?
The Exodus. The planet is XP676.
Oh, gotcha.
Is that an okay symbol to symbolize the smashed mosaic?
Yes, that works.
Nice. Perfectly. I feel like everything that Connor finds, other people smash and destroy.
No. He found the crater.
And it smashed and destroyed something else.
It did.
I mean, she
Oh,
sent an
wow.
expedition over there to smash into it and pull its parts out.
That's true. My bad.
Got to use all the parts of the crater.
I feel like we should start a discussion.
Ooh.
All right. And what discussion are we having?
What to do about the break-off community?
I'll start if that's cool.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
for it.
go for it.
I think Richard says, we should not worry about them. It's less mouths to feed. They think we're gonna die anyway.
I am gonna take the opinion of the captain, and I'm gonna voice an opinion of that the other community is a danger and a possible threat.
I don't think we need any more fear mongering about this split off faction. They've left peacefully. It was a little rocky at first, but as long as they're not hurting us, I think we should just leave it be. We've got the walls, they don't, so we can be more prepared, but I don't think we need to be offensive towards them.
Exactly. We have the walls and they don't. And these are people that we traveled with and people that we may have used to love. These people obviously are a little crazy. I think they're in danger out there and that it's our duty to bring them back.
Who said that? You and Connor.
Does everybody need a name?
I guess not.
No, I don't think everybody needs a name.
Okay.
We have 4 very different opinions here, apparently. I think that symbolizes that there's a little bit of tension probably building up in the camp.
So do all those people take contention points?
I don't know if anybody feels unheard.
Okay.
No, I
Necessarily?
don't feel like anybody's been slighted or unheard.
Cool. With that, we have 2 projects finished if Derek's turn is over.
Yep, my turn is over. The dino hunt is also over. The expedition comes back with an abundance of leather pelts.
Great. And the forge and smelter are done.
So I'll put some pelt symbols outside of the forest to indicate the abundance of
Leather.
pelts
Yeah.
and leather. Okay. Nice. And so similarly, the forge and the smelter finish up without a hiccup, but it is outside of the walls. There is going to be a scarcity, probably, of fuel, though, for it.
Would we want to consider that wood or coal?
I mean,
Coal's usually... I mean, a smelter can make coal,
yeah.
but a forge usually runs on it.
Probably both. I mean, if
Yeah.
it's a forge and a smelter.
Alright, coal and wood. But I was thinking of removing iron from the scarcity, but not putting it on the abundance.
So just kind of...
We have the ability to make it, but we don't have an abundance of it due to having a scarcity of two other
Okay. Yeah, so then I would probably leave it on a scarcity.
Okay.
Then if we're relying on other materials that we don't have an abundance of.
Okay.
But now we can hopefully make things.
Oh, no, this was ore. Oh, wait, no, she's
Oh.
back. That expedition is not back now.
Not
Never
back
mind.
yet.
Sorry.
Okay. And so that is the first card of summer. So you got the second one, Rebecca?
I do. I've got the Jack of Diamonds. Predators and bad omens are afoot. You're careless and someone goes missing under ominous circumstances. Who? Or, predators and bad omens are afoot. What measures do you take to keep everyone safe and under surveillance? Do not reduce project dice this week. I'm gonna go with the first one. You are careless and someone goes missing under ominous circumstances. Who? I think that the expedition to the crater, they set up camp on their way out at the ruins, and their project leader is missing now. Just vanished in the night.
What was their name?
Slater.
That is a cool name.
Slater is missing.
What does the expedition team do then?
The head blacksmith takes over and they decide to continue their expedition and avoid the ruins on their way back.
Awesome. And so what do you want to do on your turn?
Maybe also on their expedition they discover something new, and it is a patch of brambles surrounds the crater. No, I don't like that. I'm gonna say actually they find the skeleton of a giant creature in the ground. Yep, that one's perfect. A giant winged creature.
How big?
That's a good size.
Okay. So like fucking huge.
Yep,
All right. Awesome. Is that going to end your turn?
that does end my turn.
I got the 5 of Summer. A project finishes early. What led to its early completion? Or the weather is nice and people can feel the potential all around them. Start a new project. The only project that we have going right now is the expedition to the crater, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to say that the weather is nice and people can feel the potential all around them, and an expedition leaves to go find the leader of the ore expedition, whose name was Smeagol. Slater. They go to find Slater, and so they're going to leave the community to go try to find where Slater went off to.
How long will that take?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Does that count as a project?
2 or 3 weeks.
I mean, it's an expedition, so I figured it would be a project.
I would think 2.
Okay. So put a 2 on that. So that was the card. So for my turn, I'm going to find another patch of flowers nearby our camp, kind of around where the berry patch was, that look similar to ours, but actually turn out to be very poisonous and deadly to people. And we found this out by one person eating one of the flowers and dying from our camp. And that's my turn.
I have pulled the Queen of Diamonds.
Ooh.
A project finishes early. Which one and why? If there are no projects underway, boredom leads to quarrel. A fight breaks out between two people. What is it about? So it says in bold, a project finishes early. So, is there a project going on? Didn't we just have one?
We have 2.
We have 2.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have the expedition to the crater, and we have the
Rescue
search
mission.
party, to find Slater.
Okay. So, the party from the crater gets back early. They're all in a great mood. They've found lots of strange metals, some that's familiar to them and others that they, haven't been able to, realize if they've seen this metal before. They are dismayed. They tell the rest of the town that on their travel there they had lost Slater in the ruins, and they didn't realize until they had packed up the next day and left. And they also tell of a giant skeleton that they uncovered, but they didn't spend much time looking at that because it wasn't metal. And so they moved back into the crater. But they found so much in such abundance that they had to leave early because, they can only carry so much. And so that's why it didn't take them quite as long as they thought it would.
Nice.
And then I'm also going to discover something new. The local kids who had been exploring the tunnel that was opened up near the mosaic that was still accessible even after the townspeople wrought their havoc on the original mosaic itself. They have been exploring, and they've found that the tunnel system is quite large and goes pretty deep, but then it just evens out and extends around, and they've found a lot of different rooms, and they've found that it's pretty warm in a temperate climate in the cave, and they haven't encountered anything, scary or in a noteworthy manner as of yet, but that it keeps going, and they're saying it just keeps finding more and more tunnels. They can't be sure of which direction it goes once they get underground and take a few turns, but they haven't a feeling that it goes vaguely towards where the volcano is.
How about a change of land color to indicate underground?
Smart.
Does that work?
Yeah.
How do you want this to look?
I think it's going to be just put one room off of that.
Like over here?
Yeah.
Should you draw a short one by the cave?
But we know that there's just multiple different
Yeah.
rooms.
Just to keep it
Signify
simple.
our first expedition.
And there are a few levels to it.
Alright, we got underground shit going on.
I drew the 4 of diamonds. The eldest among you dies.
Oh, Bethel or Ethel or...
What caused the death?
Henry.
Or, the eldest among you is very sick. Caring for them and searching for a cure requires the help of the entire community. Do not reduce project dice this week.
That's so weird because those people are on an expedition, so what do they care that guy's sick? They don't even know.
I think I'm gonna go with the eldest among you is very sick. They both get sick, and it requires the entire community to search for various plants to make a cure out of. And I will use that to discover some herbs by the statue coming out of the ground, or the hand.
Any particular way you would like these plants to look?
You can go with those blue and purple ones we saw earlier.
Do they do anything specific that you know of now?
They just seem to boost the immune system and help reduce fever. They just went from being very sick to a couple of days of taking some paste mixed up with this and a couple other plants that they find, and they got better.
Cool.
Good job, Henry. Way to live.
Gladys, too. We said
And
both of
Gladys.
And with that, should I add an abundance of
them. Medicine?
medicine?
Yeah, sure.
It's my
All
turn.
right.
Well, it's
You
your turn.
are up.
I've got the 10 of diamonds. Ooh. You discover a cache of new supplies or resources, add a new abundance, or scarcity has gone unaddressed for too long. Start a project that will alleviate scarcity. Can you read me our scarce and abundance list?
Our abundance is oxygen, fish, pelts, iron ore, space ore, and metal. And our scarcities are weapons, communications, coal, and wood.
Interesting. I think people are starting to get nervous that they don't have weapons. I think I'm going to go with a scarcity has gone unaddressed for too long. Start a project that will alleviate the scarcity. I think that a small expedition of maybe 5 people is going to go out to the little forest and try to get some wood for the forge and stuff so we can make weapons. And smelt things and do things with the
Okay.
metals that we have.
Nice. How long do you think that'll take?
How long did it take last time? Do you remember?
Took Derek 4 weeks to go and get the pelts and come back.
Okay, so I'll say 3 because there's no lack of hunting and looking for things and fighting predators. I mean, you're going to have to fight them anyway, but
You have to fight those trees, too.
I would
I think it'd
argue
be-
5 because of how heavy wood is.
Yeah, there's a lot
compared
of
to pelts.
transport back.
Like, yeah, the transport back is going to be the major.
So your expedition took 4?
Mine took 4 weeks, so I would think with that it would take a week longer to transport logs.
I'd call it 5.
I'm going to keep it the same because the transport would take longer, but you're still not doing the hunting and stuff and the slicing the pelts and drying
I was
them
going
and
to say,
stuff.
take into consideration that these are not big trees as well. They're only 20
Yeah, that's
feet,
true.
so they're
Yeah.
only going to be 6-8 inches around. Okay, yeah, let's go with
4
4
weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you can still take another action on your turn. So
Yeah, and on my turn, I think I'm going to discover something new. And I think in the middle of the forest is a small little pond. And with that, my turn is over, and Connor's expedition is over. To find Slater.
no, that's mine.
Oh, that's you? Sorry.
Yep. My expedition finishes to find Slater, and find Slater they did. Slater was found in the river, in around the fishing net, caught in the fishing net, dead.
That is a long way from the room.
That's
It
a long
is.
way from the ruins.
Why were they there?
Were they able to establish how? Or just...
That's
Just for the
what they
trail.
know now. So they brought Slater's dead body along with, where he was, the information on where he was. Actually, the expedition probably didn't find him. It was the fisher people that went out to collect the catch found him.
Interesting.
Yes. And that starts my turn, and I pulled the 9 of diamonds. A project fails, which one and why, or something goes foul and supplies are ruined, add a new scarcity. We only have one project going right now, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What are the scarcities again? Or what are the abundances?
Our abundances are oxygen, fish, leather pelts, iron ore, space ore, and medicine.
You have to make something scarce.
Yeah, I would have to move something from the abundance list to the scarce list, or just introduce a new scarcity.
I have an idea, but you do you. Would you like to hear it?
Sure.
Maybe the fish is not good because there was a dead body in there.
Contamination.
Yeah, that's what I was
thought.
thinking
Making
too.
those connections.
Yeah.
Moving the fish back over.
Yeah, so what's going to happen is the latest batch of fish was ruined because of the dead body, and the people that found it had to cut the body out of the net, and so the net is actually damaged.
Would you like to add fishing gear to that?
No, just fish is fine. So
Okay.
it's just that the fish is scarce because the fishing net has been damaged. And on my turn, I'm going to introduce something new, and those are going to be a lot of footprints that don't belong to anything that the community knows are coming out of the well at night and leading around the camp and off into the distance, but they were never there before. But now there is a bunch of foreign tracks leading out of the sinkhole.
Plop, 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 plop.
Full circle. We got to get plopped back in.
Which direction were they going? Away from
Many.
camp?
We're going to symbolize the tracks as 2 gigantic duck tracks.
Okay, so for my week, I picked the 6 of diamonds. Outsiders arrive in the area. Why are they a threat? How are they vulnerable? Or, outsiders arrive in the area. How many? How are they greeted?
That's a tough one.
It is. So, a small group of
Ducklings.
bipedal hominids with duck feet is seen walking around the encampment at night, but also then they're starting to see during the day. The community is mostly hesitant and scared of these weird duck people that they haven't seen, but some members of the community set out a small basket of the flowers that have grown inside of the walls of our camp, and a small token that they had made from other supplies we had, just like a little cloth, like, here is from our ship. And they put it out there as a token of peace or a tribute.
Maybe a patch
Yeah.
from somebody riding on the ship or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, if there was like a patch, like an insignia, like, oh, this is part of our group, who we were. It's got the
Cool.
little symbol from our parchment that's there showing the best cast.
Nice.
And then, I guess for my turn, I'll hold a discussion. What does everybody think about these strange new creatures that we've been encountering? Can we trust them? I think so far they haven't attacked us. They seem to be coming out of the tunnels that the kids have found by the mosaic.
I mean, if we're going to live on this planet, we should probably try to, be civil with what already lives on this planet.
I agree, and maybe they can help us out. We have had an issue with our food supply lately.
We have. Maybe they could teach us a better way to harvest fish, or maybe there's something else we could eat.
Some cave moss.
I wonder if they're connected to the people believed to live in the other cave system.
Do we know anybody lived in the other cave system?
No, but that was a legend that we decided early on.
I mean, they don't look like ghosts.
That's what the other group left to go split off. Maybe they had the entrances wrong.
Good
Maybe
point.
They're connected.
Every
Maybe they're
entrance is
connected.
always an exit.
Yikes.
I don't know. I think they're fine.
I think that until they attack, we should not attack.
We should definitely keep our eyes on them, though.
Well, yeah, I agree. I mean, that's why we're making weapons.
Or would be.
Or would be. If the people would come back.
All right. Any projects done?
No, the expedition still has 2 weeks to come back from the forest.
All right. I drew the 2 of diamonds. Someone new arrives. Who? Why are they in distress? Or someone leaves the community. Who? What are they looking for? I am gonna go with the first one. Someone new arrives. Who? And why are they in distress?
Who arrives?
I am gonna go with a survivor from one of the other ships that had a crash landing a good ways away. Make it to here, and they're in distress because their ship crashed and most of their supplies are gone. They lost a good portion of their landing party. They have not had the successes that we have had in rebuilding.
All right. We'll kind of call this corner the entrance, I guess. It looks the most probably, but we'll put a new person there, kind of large, to indicate the newcomer, if that works for everybody.
Call him Bricker.
Bricker?
Bricker. C. Bricker. And
And yeah, you still
I
have
could
action.
do stuff. When we said we had an issue with communications, was that the ability to communicate or just that our communications suck like we need therapy?
I would yeah, both. I assume, because I think it was talked about that we couldn't make communication with like other people outside of our ship, that largely we lacked the ability to contact others.
Then I am going to start a project to recycle parts of the ship to make a couple of handheld radio transmitters and a larger one at the ship. I think that should take about 2 weeks.
I was thinking 3.
I was thinking 1.
What were you thinking, Connor?
I was thinking 2.
2? Okay.
So we'll go with 2.
Okay.
To make a couple of basic radios.
Well, actually, maybe 3. You're making one base station and then a couple of like handheld ones for people to take with them.
Just like 1 or 2. So like
I changed my vote to 3.
3.
3.
Okay.
All right, we'll round up to 3.
I'm going to call it the command center.
Nice.
Okay. My turn. I got the king of diamonds. Uh-oh. Summer is fleeting. Discard the top 2 cards off the deck and take 2 actions this week.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
We lost the 8 and the 3.
Summer just goes by so fast, guys.
Yeah, we lost start a project related to food production or start a project related to military readiness and conquest, or someone tries to take control of the community by force, or a headstrong community member decides to put one of their ideas into motion, start a foolish project.
Those are some good ones
We
to
lost some
lose.
stuff that could put us ahead or put us behind,
Yeah.
or really push somebody's agenda through.
Well, one of my things was going to be I'm going to start a project.
Okay. What's that project look like?
I'm going to fix the fishery.
Okay.
I do think that this would only take about a week.
How long did it take us to build?
I feel like it only took a week to build.
Yeah, I feel like it can't be that much to
just
rebuild it.
We
just
good.
Tie the nets back together.
Yeah.
Okay. And I can take 2 actions. I feel like I wanted to hold a discussion, but I can't remember why. I'm going to start another project. And some people are going to go collect samples from the poison flowers and try to make poisons that we're going to add to, like, our weapons
Oh, shit.
eventually.
Okay.
And I think that'll take 3 weeks. 2
Okay.
weeks.
Sounds good.
Gathering and experimentation.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
And that is my turn, which means that the people came back from the trees.
Oh, right on.
Wonderful. So we're going to move wood over to the abundance.
For now, yeah.
Also, Derek's project is done. We decided that only took 1 week.
Which one?
Oh,
No,
no,
3
No,
sorry.
that was 3. We're only a week down on that.
I hope I'm not forgetting any projects.
You're good. We're all tracking our own, too. Have you started a project?
I have not started.
You've
a
not
project.
done any projects?
Nope. Done mostly discussions and discovered a few things.
Okay.
Every time I think of a project, it's like it gets done by the time it gets back to me. I'm like, okay, well, it's all good.
Right on.
So what did we just finish? We finished the fishery?
Getting back with the
No, I
wood.
just started that one.
Yeah, you'll finish the fishery after my turn, so I don't think anything finished.
Getting back with the wood was the one that just finished, I think.
Right.
Put some wood on the map.
But it needs a forge.
Okay. We'll just make that giant pile of wood next to the forge. Sweet. Alright. So I guess that's my turn?
Yep.
I got the 7 of diamonds. Introduce a mystery at the edge of the map, or an unattended situation becomes problematic and scary. What is it, and how does it go awry? I'm going to introduce a mystery at the edge of the map. When they were getting the trees, the people in the forest noticed that there was another craft, we'll say, another spacecraft looking thing that seemed to be partially crashed into the dirt, and it is massive and does not look like one that any of the humans had arrived in. And so I'm going to put this little sideways airship here to indicate where that is.
Does it look old, like it's been here a long, long, long time, or
No.
it's recent?
More recent.
Okay.
And I will start a project, and that project is the Splinter Camp, or the Doomsdayers, is that what their name?
Mm-hmm.
They are moving into the caves.
Doom Dwellers.
The Doom Dwellers are moving fully into the caves and searching for a new place to live.
How long is that going to take?
I don't know, the other guy spent 1 week down there and didn't find anything, so longer than that, I would assume.
I'd say 3 or
3?
4.
2 to 3, yeah. I'll go with
They're
3.
moving in and exploring.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Moving
go
and
with,
exploring.
let's go with 3.
And if that's your turn, the fishery is done.
Fishery is done.
I was initially thinking we should dedicate the new fishery to Slater, but also do we want to be reminded of Slater's body in our fish?
Gross. Not really. So we have 1 week on the command center, 3 weeks on the turning the plants into poison. Oh no, that should be 2 now, right? And 3 weeks for the Doom Dwellers to move in.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right.
Looks like that concludes the season of summer.
Oh my gosh,
shit.
summer ended so fucking
fast.
quick.
It is fleeting. Fleeting fun.
We did lose 2 weeks out of it.
We did lose 2 weeks, and an unfortunate 2 weeks. I really liked
We could have
what those one cards said. So we are moving on to autumn, and we will move on to autumn next episode. And until then,
We'll
See you next Tuesday.
Tales from the Crypt is part of the Wolfbeard Games podcast network. We hope you've enjoyed today's episode, and if you have, please subscribe and leave a review wherever you get your podcasts. To stay up to date on any news about the podcast, follow us on Instagram at Tales from the Crypt Podcast. Check out our YouTube channel with the same name, and most importantly, tell a friend. we're gonna tackle we're gonna tackle what the fuck is it? The
Summer
season.